In this video, I will show you how to paint a chicken with watercolor. We will need 2 water containers, a cloth, watercolor paint, paint brushes, a pencil, eraser, and watercolor paper. We will start by lightly drawing a circle in the middle. This will be the chicken's body. Remember to draw lightly whenever using the pencil. Draw a smaller circle on top. This will be a guide for the chicken's head. Then we can join the head and body together. This part will be the neck of the chicken. I then added the beak, a sideways heart for the eyes and cheek. This part of the chicken's head is called a comb, and the other red part I'm drawing below the chicken's beak is called a wattle. After drawing the wattle, we can draw the tail. Using a circle as a guide, we will draw a line diagonally upwards and all the way back down to the middle of the circle like this. These curved lines will be the wings of the chicken. Around the middle of the circle, draw a small lump. This will be the start of the chicken's leg. The chicken's leg will be this shape and the other leg here. I carefully erased the guidelines I don't need anymore and decided my chicken's butt is not fat enough. Then I drew a line behind my chicken. The top half will be the sky and the bottom will be grass. I will paint the entire chicken's body ochre, and while the paint is still wet, I added a reddish brown to the chicken's butt, lower chest and head. After washing my brush, I mixed a red color for the comb and wattle of my chicken. Make sure to wash your brush in between colors so that your colors stay vibrant and bright. Then I added yellow to the beak and feet of my chicken. Using the same reddish brown, I used a big brush and added small strokes on the chicken like this so that it looks like feathers. As you can see, the reddish brown is spreading out a little bit because the ochre is still wet. Wait for the paint to dry before using the ochre color to add more feathery strokes in the space without the reddish brown. I used the dark brown to add some shadow below my chicken's head, under the wings and on its butt. After washing my brush, I mixed the dark blue color to add to the tail of my chicken and on the back of its head. When painting the chicken feathers, make sure to leave a little bit of gap between each line. After washing my brush and changing the color to a dark brown, I added some shadow here. I am now layering on another layer of ochre to make it stand out more. After everything has dried, I'm adding on the final details of the chicken. Moving on to the background, we are going to use a wet on wet technique. Using a big brush and clean water, fill up the entire bottom of the page. I painted ochre and light green using small strokes going side to side like this. And while the paint is still wet, I added the shadow of the chicken and the darker part of the grass. Using the same big brush, fill up the top half of the painting with clean water. Make sure to carefully avoid the chicken and the grass. And while it's still wet, you can use a light blue to create strokes like this. Make sure to leave a little bit of empty space. The little bit of empty space will be the clouds of our sky. Using green and brown, I dabbed many small dots to create trees in the background. If you look closely, the green will spread out after a while, which creates the effect of leaves on a tree. By then, your chicken should have dried and you can do the final touch of adding the eye to your chicken. And we are done!